Before we begin, I really want to say that dying is not a failure.
Hmm.
It's part of the human process.
None of us are getting out of here alive.
No.
Not one. But when my mom passes, I know what my mom wants. We've had those conversations. I'll be singing, holding her hand, probably playing some of her favorite, like Jane Austen movies, like reading her Jane Austen stories, and just knowing that she's whatever she's hearing, she's good. She's okay.
I think it's important to remember that the final hours are not medical. They're sacred. Like, they're sacred hours. And
It's so easy to make it clinical because we just don't want to feel.
they're not conscious. They are listening. They're not responding, but they hear you tell them the impact that you have had on their life. Can you imagine? Wow. Hi, Rachel. How are you today?
Hey, Shanna, doing good. It's a busy time of year. My kid is finishing up kindergarten, and another one's finishing second grade, and another one's finishing freshman in high school. So we're about to officially be summertime.
So summertime's gonna be busy.
In some ways, yes, and in some ways, more relaxed. Not the 6 a.m. wake up call.
Yeah.
For them, I will probably still get up at
Yeah.
early, so I can take care of me. So, but yeah, different groove in the summertime for sure.
All right. Well, let's get started with Hospice Uncovered. You want
Yeah.
to start with meditating?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yep, let's get grounded. Let's do some breathing. Okay, so feet flat on the floor, honor and dignity in our spine, get our shoulders nice and loosed and moving. And if we want to begin by taking a deep breath in, I like to close my eyes. And I like to lift my shoulders up to my ears and give them a good stretch and then drop them back and down into my back pockets and just open up my heart. Might feel a little pop pop in the spine. And just relax the face. Take some nice smooth inhalations and out. Exhale. Today, let's just bring to mind 3 things that we're grateful for as we breathe in and out. Let go of any stress, any worry. We are safe. We are clear on our purpose. We are here to have a very important discussion, sister to sister, human to human. These are things that we all go through and we get to talk about them. It's beautiful purpose. So, final breath in, big deep breath, deeper in. Sip one more last sip of air and exhale slowly. Push the air out through the bottom of the feet, ground into the earth. Sit up tall. Breathe out, breathe out. Get all that air out. And open your eyes. Meet me right here. I'm grateful that I got here safe in my car. I'm thankful that my kids and I have food to eat and always have plenty of clothes to wear and gas in our car. And I'm thankful that my parents are alive and well and that I'm drawing closer to my mom and that our relationship is growing.
Oh, that's amazing. I am grateful for definitely my children
Mm,
and my grandbaby. I'm grateful to be able to wake up for another day and be able to do what I enjoy the most is serving people.
yeah.
I am grateful that I have a bed to sleep in every
Mm,
night. Yeah. It's comfy and warm and safe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Comfy, warm, and safe. Beautiful.
Mhm. All right.
What
Well,
you got for us today?
this is not going to be an easy topic today. Um, very emotionally heavy topic.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about what happens at the end of life,
Mm,
what happens in the final hours of life, what to expect as your family member is passing away.
yeah.
So, um, it's an emotional conversation, but it's one that needs to be had.
Yeah.
And just really, the idea behind this is just to dissipate the fears that
Mm-hmm.
family members have, that they will have, and make sure that they know that like we're here to support during this time.
Yeah.
Um,
We're also here to guide
mhm,
and set expectations.
yeah, to help them not feel hopeless, um,
Mm-hmm.
not to be fearful, to know that they've done everything that they could
Mm,
possibly do right for their family member.
yeah.
Oftentimes they'll harbor the feelings of what did I do wrong or what could I have done better. And so we're going to kind of walk through all of that.
And if they've been working with us, we've often worked through that.
Hmm.
And so, like you said, the passing can have such peace.
Yeah. We're going to talk about like the physical changes near death,
Yeah.
like what to look for,
Mm-hmm.
breathing changes,
Mm-hmm.
consciousness changes,
Okay.
what the family may see, you know,
So
um,
good.
and then how to create that peaceful, loving environment around their loved one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we begin, I really want to say that dying is not a failure.
Hmm.
It's part of the human process.
None of us are getting out of here alive.
No,
Not one.
no. And hospice exists to help make that process peaceful and as comfortable as possible.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely for the patient, but also for the family
Yeah.
because it can be difficult.
Yeah. Patients experiencing one thing, but the family's experiencing a totally
Something
different
else.
thing.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So, ooh, heavy.
Okay.
I just feel it heavy in my heart.
Let's jump
Just,
in. Yeah.
yeah. Why are families so afraid of the final hours? Why do you think they're so afraid of the final hours?
I think it's the unexpected. They're walking into life without their loved one. What will it
Hmm.
look like? What will it feel like when they're finally gone? When they're still here and we're still doing things for the patient. It
Yeah.
just feels like, we've got something to do. But when they're dead and gone, what's one to do? And then they have to experience that. And that's
Yeah.
that's a change. And like we talked about on our last episode, any change that we did not ask for is going to involve grief.
Yeah. Yeah. And even though it is part of the human process, death is part of the human process, it's still not normal if you
Mm,
think about it. It's not a daily norm for people to have to experience it. And
yeah.
so, yeah, they're out of their comfort zone. They're wondering, have I failed my loved one? They're wondering, is my loved one still in pain? Are they suffering? And so all these kinds of questions come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they surface.
And it's not pretty when somebody's dying.
Mm-mm.
Their physical body is becoming lifeless.
Yeah.
It's called actively dying is
Hmm.
is our phrase for it, right? Or
Yeah.
imminent.
Yeah. They're imminent.
Yeah.
So some of the changes, one of the change would be a change in consciousness. Your family member went from verbalizing,
Mm-hmm. Talking, maybe
mhm,
smiling, joking, yeah,
blinking their eyes upon command, grabbing your hand,
yeah.
um, to
Nodding, making eye contact.
mhm, to now they're sleeping
Responding.
more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
They're not responding to your cues or your commands or being able to answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
They speak less. They drift in and out
Mm-hmm.
of consciousness.
They may look past you or around you or look like they're staring at something that's not there and just fixated on it.
Yeah. Or they might even respond slowly
Mm-hmm.
or not respond at all.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting here thinking that it's difficult for anybody to have to deal with that. If it were you and I, it would be difficult for us to deal with. And
Yeah.
to see your loved one in a state like that.
I think it is the most joyful and peaceful though when I know that they are at peace.
Mm-hmm.
When I know that we've had some of the conversations that you and I have talked about that we get to have with our loved one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to pass peacefully to be okay with leaving this earth?
Yeah.
What is it for you?
Yeah.
Because if there's anything, let's talk about that. And so at that dying process, and not to just like bounce out of how sad it can be, because I lost my dad suddenly and we were not in a good place. And and that was really, really hard. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But when my mom passes, I know what my mom wants. We've had those conversations. I'll be singing, holding her hand, probably playing some of her favorite like Jane Austen movies, like reading her Jane Austen stories, and just knowing that she's whatever she's hearing, she's good. She's okay. I'll just be spending time with her half their self.
Well, I think that you bring up a really good point. Even if they're not fully conscious, still talk to them.
Exactly.
Still speak to them, still love on them, because it doesn't mean that they're not in their body still.
Exactly. Because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, families often ask, can they still hear me? Should we still keep talking to them? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
absolutely.
Like, yeah. It's singing, like things that bring them joy, things that they like.
Mm-hmm.
Reading to them stories, singing songs, watching movies, telling stories over them about what you remember, about your favorite memories about them.
Yeah.
Because they may be sleeping, nodding up, but still we're hearing, we take things in.
Mm-hmm.
Think about when you're in a deep sleep and you can still kind of like, you still maybe are hearing the conversations around you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So on top of the, decreased consciousness, then there's also decreased intake. So your family member will stop eating and drinking.
Yeah. Those are physical needs. And so as the body's passing away, it doesn't need those life-sustaining foods and hydration. They don't have a hunger or a thirst for that.
Yeah. So as the body's going to start slowing down, it doesn't consume the amount of energy that it needs anymore. So definitely less food and less water intake.
Yeah.
And forcing fluids and forcing food on them could be detriment to them as well.
Yeah, it could just make them uncomfortable. They might accidentally take a breath in while you're trying to like feed them something, and they could
possibly choke.
It.
Yeah.
But a lot of times that is the appearance and the sound of somebody in the final hours too, is like a,
rattle.
There's secretions that are gathering in the throat, their mouth breathing. It can look pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead of forcing food or forcing liquid, there's other things that you can do to help your family member. And that's like mouth care.
Yeah, exactly.
Moisture care, taking a swab, wetting it, keeping their lips moist, putting chapstick on their lips.
I tell you what, when I worked in the ICU as a respiratory therapist, that was one of my favorite things to do. It was work. It seemed like, oh, okay, I just did my ventilator rounds. I just did that. Okay, it's this time. That doctor's going to come in. They're going to need that, and that. And I would still go bust out. Plus, I love the little kits that we had. They were like a perfect little like one patient, one use kit. So you open it up and it had this little swab on a stick. Yeah. And even if they were intubated with the tube in their mouth,
I felt like it was such a sweet, intimate, helpful moment for them because I'm like, they must feel like hell inside their mouth.
Yeah.
So
It's
let's get it all
dry,
freshened up.
crusty.
Yeah. And then I'd like change their ET tube tape just to get it all fresh after I got their oral care all done. And yeah, to moisten those lips with a little bit of like kind of like a Blistex white, creamy texture. So sometimes those are sweet things to bring your loved one, like maybe different flavors of chapstick or something instead of, not that they can experience that as they're actively dying, but
Yeah.
instead of trying to have them have ice or water or something like, something that helps with that oral
Oral
care.
care. Yeah.
Mhm.
And oral comfort.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because you'll start seeing sores develop sometimes in the mouth.
Mm.
Uh,
We control pain though very well
oh,
when they're on
absolutely on
hospice
hospice
care.
care.
So it's harder to watch than it is for them. For
Yeah.
them,
They're not suffering.
we're hoping they're not suffering.
Yeah.
We do everything we can from what we know about the science and medications
Yeah.
that to know that they are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So another one,
My nose is
uh,
itchy.
another thing to expect would be like breathing changes. So
Yeah.
shallow breathing,
Agonal breathing.
irregular breathing, long pauses between breaths.
The death rattle, like where
Mhm.
it just sounds like they're drowning in that fluid.
Yeah. And there are medications that help with that death rattle. Yeah.
Yeah, they can
That
help
can
dry
help
it
with
up.
those secretions.
Yeah, so there's some things that we can do to help ease it a little bit.
Yeah. And it can be scary
Mhm.
for a family to witness that.
Yeah.
It really can.
It was scary for me as a young respiratory therapist to witness it for the first time. I was like, is somebody going to come in here and do something about
Yeah,
this?
like what's going on here? Yeah.
Until I learned from the doctors and the nurses during that shift, like, oh, no, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as the body weakens, the respiratory system slows down, the digestive system slows down, secretion starts collecting, the brain breathing control changes.
They can go long periods of time without taking a breath. What is it? Two complete minutes without a breath is when we announce the death, I think. But they can go
A long time.
30 seconds,
Yeah.
45 seconds. And
Yeah, with deep, yeah. And then sometimes too with very deep, rapid breaths. So,
yeah. So during that phase of the dying process, Shauna, is it better to be really anxious and like, when are they going to stop breathing? I mean, because that could be hours.
Could be.
It could be days.
Yeah.
Usually it's about how long?
Well, I don't know that answer. I don't even know
With
if a
what you've
nurse knows
seen.
that answer.
Yeah.
If it's
Just
7
curious.
days, I think it's 7 days without food and water, or
Mm.
without water. Yeah, but I think the end goal is that they're just 100% comfortable,
Yeah.
you know? And all these things that you're physically experiencing, you know, they're going through it, but you're seeing it. It's emotional on you too. Can be very exhausting and concerning and fearful. And I think what I'd like to make sure that we express is that they're just 100% comfortable, that everybody is going to experience this.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get out of this,
Yeah.
unless it's an immediate passing.
Right.
But if they're imminent and they're going through the stages, yeah, they're going to go through this. And as long as we can keep them comfortable, then that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can turn them just to make sure that they don't develop bed sores or,
Yeah.
nasty wounds that might be extra sad to see happen. And we do our best with that, like just making them comfortable.
Yeah.
Pillows, propping them up, or if they kind of out, we just try to get them
And comfort
situated where they can.
Yeah, comfort equals peace.
Mm-hmm.
If we can have that somehow imprinted on brains of family members, it's like comfort equals peace for them.
Yeah.
And then they can have a peaceful passing.
Yeah.
So
When they're at peace, they can experience even some joy,
Yeah.
some laughter,
Yeah.
some presence.
You talked about moving them around, making sure that they don't get bed sores or
Mm-hmm.
open wounds. Another phase is modeling. It's called modeling, where different parts of their skin, typically on their hands and their feet, turn like a purple or bluish color.
Mm-hmm. Kind of get spotted too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look
Spotted.
So skin changes for sure. Yeah.
Discoloration of skin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's due to decreased urine output. So
that's normal.
yeah.
Yeah. It's common to decrease urine output, but also just like the blood begins to shunt only to the main organs to
Yep.
keep them alive. So the arms and the leg extremities can turn blue. And that's definitely, it's disturbing. It can be disturbing to see, but when we understand why, it makes sense.
Yeah. I think another good point is that a weakened pulse. So sometimes our family members will call and say that they passed already, but they didn't pass. It's just their pulse is so faint. And again, that's part of the process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's the important emotional context here is like you're going to see all of these transpiring with your family member. And the goal is not to panic. If there's questions, hospice is here to answer any kind of questions that you have. If there's a specific need, we're there to respond. Just know that you're not alone when you're under hospice care.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great to have that expert team to just ask all of those questions too.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that transpires is that the patient will become restless.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be agitated, kind of moving a little bit or a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're confused, they're restless. So all of that is expected too.
Yeah. Which means they may not recognize the people that are surrounding them, or they may have a bad mood. They may be irritated, they may not be very nice, may not be the best version of themselves.
Yeah. And could potentially be repetitive in movement and in speech if they are still speaking.
Yeah.
So all of that is, you don't want to say normal, but it's normal.
Expected.
It's part of, part of the process. Yeah.
And I always say, it can be frustrating, but it's all in how we look at it. It's all in what our expectations are.
Yeah.
We can give lots of love, give lots of hugs, give lots of smiles, stay calm in our own self. Like you said, no need to get frantic and uptight about it. It's just going to be for a small piece of time.
Yeah.
And it can be some beautiful moments created in that.
Yeah.
If we're intentional about it. And it's for them. It's for their comfort and their peace. If they say something off the wall, and it's great not to let it get to us, not take it personally.
Yeah. And, the families, I can guarantee, will feel helpless during this time. But our goal as a hospice team is that they don't feel overstimulated, that they don't feel fear, they don't feel the anxiety. Our goal is to create a calming and, just like you said, a loving environment.
And sometimes the family will get a little awkward. I don't want to touch them. I don't, and it's cool when we're there because we can kind of we can usher them and touch them, give them hugs. It's okay. They'll feel it, kiss their cheek, kiss their forehead, be as intimate as you want to be. It's okay. You're not going to hurt anything. Yeah, we can encourage them in that with what's expected because they're just sort of tiptoeing, and a little timid about it, trepidatious of oh, well, I've never known them like this. No, but it's okay. They're still your loved one, just the same. Just they're in a different state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a really valuable bit of information would be for the family would be creating peace in the room. And how do you think they could create some peace in the room?
Again, I think like music,
Mhm.
I think aromatherapy, lighting, yeah, sounds, smells, lighting,
Softness, just speaking calmly.
pretty colors,
Yeah.
like just their most favorite, maybe blankets, pillows, pictures, candles, just some of their favorite artifacts or like, things around that make them happy.
Mhm. Yeah.
The environment to be happy. I want to say too, a lot of patients see people, they see loved ones of theirs that have already passed away and they'll speak to them and they'll reference them helping them across,
Yeah.
helping them across to what's next,
Yeah.
to heaven,
Mhm.
to wherever they believe is next.
Yeah, that's a
But
good
that
point.
definitely happened with my granny.
Yeah.
She was living in a nursing home. She was on hospice only about her last 4 days. And we had a caregiver, one of those hourly paid people,
Mhm.
because when my mom and I went home at night, we wanted her to have somebody at the bedside. So we paid a company to come in, and the lady was taking notes. And my granny owned 2 beauty shops in Houston. So
Mhm.
she had thriving businesses and Vita May was one of her clients and her friends. And so Vita Maney is going to help me. Vita Maney's going to help
Oh,
me.
God love her.
So this woman was she was, just writing down what my granny said. And my mom recognized the name. It was like, Vita Maney. Oh my goodness. That's a friend of hers from the 70s. And
Wow.
she passed away a long time ago from diabetes. And so,
Wow.
yeah, that was going to be her friend that was going to help her.
Well, I think it's important to remember that the final hours are not medical. They're sacred.
Yeah.
Like, they're sacred hours. And
It's so easy to make it clinical because we just don't want to feel.
yeah.
We're a little scared to feel because it's like, oh, what will happen to me if I feel? And if this is a beautiful moment and I put it all out there and then they leave
Right.
and they leave anyway.
Right.
But yeah, the making it clinical thing, I think is something that we see a lot
Yeah.
where we can be like, yeah, but this is, this is a miracle that you're witnessing.
Yeah. And I think that that's where hospice can come in for the families is where there's panic, they create just a calm presence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
not
And
medical. It's
a
all sacred.
reassurance.
Yeah.
A reassurance that this is part of the life experience.
Yeah. I think too that families or family members need to make sure that they're taking care of themselves,
Mm-hmm.
especially during this process, because it could be exhausting, it could be overwhelming, anxiety, stress, all of the unknowns are kicking in, fear kicks in,
Yeah.
and they need to make sure that they're taking care of themselves physically, mentally, emotionally.
We need to make sure that we talk about this with the children that are seeing the passing also. Asking any children that are in the family that are around during that time,
Mhm.
hey, what do you think about this? How are you feeling?
Yeah, we haven't, I don't think we've had many children actually. It's
Yeah, my kid, my oldest was right there when my granny
when
was
you're,
passing
yeah.
away, when she was, laying in bed like,
And
doing
how
all
did that impact him?
he was really sweet, but I
Yeah.
I made it a point to be like, "You doing okay? Hey, you doing okay?" And like my being was like calm
Yeah.
and at peace with that she was passing old age. Like nobody lives forever. Our bodies give out. They last for as long as God says, and then we get taken out, and then we get to go to heaven and how are you feeling about all this? So that
Mhm.
he could say, I'm okay, and he was. And he gave her kisses, even though she was on oxygen. What's that? What's that inside her nose?
Yeah.
But just letting them ask their questions.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like what we talk about with us.
Yeah.
Ask the question, just say the thing. But for us, we're more mature. We've had more life.
Yeah.
For them, you know, kids, like they say when their parents get divorced, for example, sometimes they create a story that it's because of them.
Mhm.
And that's just what they go on believing.
Yeah.
And if we never ask, so I'm sure in a family that a loved one is passing away on hospice, they could easily make it about it's something I did.
Them.
And now they're gone and they're not here anymore, or
Wow.
whatever story it could be.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
And if we do, yeah. So we'll be taking care of a lot of families where the
Yeah.
grandkids will be there or the great grandkids.
Yeah.
And it's important to include them. And like, my little boy, I was proud of him that he wanted to kiss his granny.
Mhm.
That taught me something because then later I was in the hospital and my father-in-law was in the hospital and he looked rough, girl. Like he had like food in his beard rough. And I still leaned over and was like, I gave him a big old smacker on the cheek because I was like, this is a human.
Yeah.
And I love him. And
Yeah.
it may be a little gross.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being honest, but it's also like, that's not what matters.
Right.
Connection is what matters.
Yeah. Wow. So our goal is to encourage families to ask questions, ask for support, rest when possible. What else do you think?
Yeah.
They need to make sure that they're allowing their emotions to flow.
Yeah. Get up and move often. Yeah. Cause that's what can help those emotions just work up and out of the body. And even like verbalizing, if you feel sad or just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so hard, like get up and take a break and go out and scream outside or scream into a pillow. Really talk to somebody who is a very well-adjusted person. Just like, this is hard. I'm going through this. I'm super sad. I'm super scared.
Mhm.
Dang it. I don't want this to be happening. And because there's just so much value in how we look at things.
Yeah.
If somebody's passing away and they're 94, like my granny, oh my gosh, the life that woman lived. How could I be upset? I
Yeah.
mean, and I was pregnant with my 8-year-old. He never got to meet her. She
Yeah.
died and he was born like 3 weeks later. And I didn't get to go to her funeral because I was very pregnant and I wasn't going to go to the nursing home and be exposed to those super bugs
Mhm.
that are in nursing homes. And so, I could have looked at that as like, woe is me for reasons. But I didn't have that attitude. I didn't have that outlook. And we can always go different ways with our thinking.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I think it's also to just remember that hospice has a bereavement program as well that follows the family.
Yeah.
At least for a year. If the
Right.
family needs it longer, they're more than welcome to utilize that program.
For
But
sure.
we touch base with them constantly.
Right.
And they have access to support groups. They have access to chaplains or social workers. They need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I know that I've spoken to family members just following up and checking in on them or sending them a letter or sending them a card. But that's part of the hospice journey too, is that the support doesn't stop. As soon as your loved one passes away, the support continues.
Most
It's
definitely.
important to know.
And everybody grieves in their own time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people will move on quicker and some will take longer to heal and to work through it.
Yeah.
And to return to a life, that's got a new normal
state.
A new normal. Yeah. Because we got to find a new normal after loss and grief.
Mm-hmm. So I guess in closing, just realizing that death is one of the most sacred things we can go through as a human being. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking of the word sacred.
Sacred.
Yeah. It's about deep love. It's about emotional connection, unconditional love. It's about peace and meaning and presence and understanding and just being there for your loved one.
Yeah. And legacy.
Yeah. Legacy is a big one.
What are you leaving behind and what are we carrying forward?
Yeah.
Into the world, into our family generations because of that life.
I think that's, wow, I don't know why I didn't think of that word earlier. But what a good topic to talk to them about. in their final hours too, is the legacy that they're leaving, the footprints that they're leaving behind.
Yeah.
And, that journey that they've created for their loved ones to follow.
Yeah.
What a neat.
What did they sow into?
Yes.
I like
the
the
neat
idea of the
conversation.
footprints.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you've walked and then where others will walk because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the journey continues beyond your life.
Can you imagine them laying there? They're not conscious. They're not conscious. They are listening. They're not responding, but they hear you tell them the impact that you have had on their life. Can you imagine? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as you and I know, because we've been on another journey, we get to say that to people before they're on their deathbed.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know why I didn't think of legacy earlier too. My parents are going to be married for 50 years in a couple more days.
Oh my goodness.
And I wrote out a card
Just
today.
incredible.
Yeah. Just thinking about their unconditional love that they have for each other and the legacy that they've left for not only me and my siblings, but for my children, my grandchildren, their great-great-great-grandchildren, and just their marriage was just beautiful. So,
and if there's anything that we need a legacy story about, it's marriage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say that death is one of the most sacred things that can happen in a life, it matters though where we believe we're going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And our agency is called Anchored by Grace. And we believe in a loving Heavenly Father that is preparing, and a Savior that died on the cross for all of our sins, past, present, and future, and rose again and is up in heaven praying to God on our behalf and preparing a mansion for us.
Right.
With all the room for all the believers that would receive him as the Son of God, the Son of the living God.
Yeah.
And so, we don't force that religion on anybody. That is not, because even God himself is a gentleman. He gives grace freely, and every human gets to accept him.
Yeah.
Gets to receive his grace.
So I do have a Bible verse today. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Revelation 21:4.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's amazing how God always brings our episodes
together
so that it flows, because Lord knows we're not that.
Yeah. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Yeah.
So Douglas, our director of spiritual services, who was on our episode last week, he said that when God designed us, we were not designed to even know death. It was not until that serpent came into the garden and said, "Oh, God didn't say that.
Yeah.
Surely you will not die." And then human disobeyed God in the garden, and boom, spiritual death.
Yeah.
And God had a plan to save us. And that's what I was just talking about a minute ago. But we were not designed, we were not created by him to even know death.
Right.
We were created to be in
Full
eternal,
life.
loving relationship with him.
Yep.
And to enjoy all of this with him in a beautiful garden, lush, delicious garden. So yeah, it's hard on our soul to have to be face to face with it. And that's why I believe that God blessed us to actually have the joy to want to do it for a living.
Yeah, to share it. Yeah.
All right, Shanna. So yes, so our healthy treat, because we want to take care of physical, mental, spiritual, all of it. So we want to fuel our body well. And so we're going to do whole wheat tortillas instead of white flour tortillas, because whole wheat, more fiber, takes body longer to break it down, and it's lower glycemic, so it won't make our body have to work hard to pull the energy into the cells and be used. It's metabolically more healthy, I'll just say. So protein is always going to go into a snack that we have because our body needs protein like every 3 hours to really fuel it. So this is some taco beef. This is 98%, 96% lean ground beef. So, and I just sauteed it, browned it up really quickly, put some taco seasoning on it. Simple, delicious. Next, we're going to use some non-fat Greek yogurt. So load this with as much protein as you want, because I mean, like 5 ounces, whatever won't make the tortilla give way is how much I say, but that's a pretty good amount right there.
Got it.
And then, assist me with this one if you would. So we can do sour cream. Sour cream is not bad or anything, especially light sour cream, but this is higher in protein, and I like the texture. Sure, it's just kind of like up to probably like 2 tablespoons of that would be great, even up to 1/4 of a cup if you like it. I like it, so I put a little more. And then yes. And then salsa, that's the Mateo's. It's just got such good flavor. So super simple. Salsa is really healthy condiment. Here is something I love if I'm doing a Mexican type of like a taco salad, or like this, like a Mexican style little taco. Shredded cabbage is crunchy. It almost gives like a tortilla, like a corn tortilla type of a texture. So instead of just lettuce, cabbage is going to give you a lot more pop. So you got that. You could do some sliced pickled jalapenos would give it some pop. I do some fresh tomatoes. So these are when you're busy, like you're, taking care of a sick loved one or things like that, like a lot of our people are. They sell these. They don't even have seeds in them. They're sweet and crunchy and juicy. So like these little peppers, because you want protein, you want veggie, you want whole grain starches. You want your meals to be nice and balanced with all the food groups. So like if I'm going to make a few of those and take them like to the hospital or something, have a healthy meal on the go, I would want like a big old handful of cherry tomatoes would be good to have with that, a couple of these peppers, and then like these little snacking mini cukes or little snacking cucumbers. So easy veggies for you to keep on hand that'll keep you fueled and that are, grab and go style. So I'm going to make a couple more of those for the few of us that are here in the studio. And we can wrap it up. Stay healthy, you guys. Take care of yourself. The caregiver stress is real, and we want to prevent those complications. Because just because you're dealing with a loved one who's passing away, it does not mean that you have to suffer. We're here for you in all aspects. Okay, so taco beef. Thank you. That's mine with all that yogurt. I love it. See you guys next week.